I would like to now explain the evaluation design that we plan to use for the proposed policy, Senate Bill 32. In looking at the evaluation design model that would be best suited for our policy, we have determined that we would need to follow a few different types of designs in order to reach a useful conclusion, because there is not one specific evaluation model alone that is sufficient for our policy. The types of evaluation design that we plan to use will be a combination of non-experimental design methods using a pre- and post-test design to compare the quantitative data and a case study to collect the qualitative data. Due to the fact that non-experimental design models are weaker, we feel that to strengthen our data and results, a pre- and post-test design, along with the case study, will produce the necessary and most accurate results, whereas each on their own would leave room for interpretation and weakened results. In specifically looking at the qualitative data, we will follow a case study to evaluate the effectiveness of Senate Bill 32. The case study will allow us to measure the consequences that Senate Bill 32 has had for a frequent payday loan user. In the case study, we will be able to interview borrowers, hold incentivized focus groups, follow up with surveys via the phone, and ultimately determine behavioral changes, if any, that may have occurred since the passage of Senate Bill 32. In specifically looking at the quantitative data, this is where the pre- and post-test design will be most beneficial. To strengthen our evaluation design, we must collect data that proves that Senate Bill 32 did successfully lower the cost of payday loans in Kentucky and lessen the frequency with which payday loans are used by Kentuckians. Some of the data that we plan to collect are the number of loans granted on a yearly basis. We plan to look at the number of loans one individual typically had out and the cost of these loans, as well as the payback time of the loans prior to the passage of Senate Bill 32 in comparison to that same data that has been collected approximately 6 months after the Senate Bill 32 has passed. In order for the design to reach a useful conclusion regarding the policy, our goal is that the data will prove that there is a 25% reduction in the cost and a reduction in the use of payday loans.